Ephesians chapter 4 verse 26. Be ye angry, and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Throughout your walk with the Most High, in order for you to reach the next level in your walk, He will put tests in front of you to see how you react. You may have to deal with wicked people, your finances not looking the way you want them to, or maybe just material possessions that you desire. The Most High is going to test you on many different things. And how do we pass these tests? And more importantly, how do we recognize that we're in the midst of a test? Proverbs chapter 2 verse 3. Yeah, if thou criest out to knowledge, and lifted up thy voice for understanding. Verse 5. Then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find the knowledge of Yahweh. Verse 11. Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. In order to avoid the traps and snares of spiritually wicked people, or just simply life circumstances in general, you're going to have to seek after the wisdom that comes with keeping Yahweh's laws, statutes, and commandments. There are a lot of people out here looking to pour their negative demonic energy into your vessel. You have to be careful of who you let close to you. There are a lot of people out here who hate truth tellers and those who seek after Yah's righteousness, who see the light you bear and it attracts their darkness. Dealing with wicked people and life circumstances can sometimes be overwhelming. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 7. If ye endure chastising, Yahweh dealeth with you as with his sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not? Psalms chapter 30 verse 5. For his anger endureth but a moment. In his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Some people may have been struggling with a situation that they have been dealing with for 5 years, even 10 years. But you have to have faith and know that Yahweh will bring you out of that situation. Romans chapter 8 verse 17. And if children, then heirs, heirs with Yahweh, and joint heirs with Christ. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. And that's just it, Israel. In order for us to be joint heirs with Hamashiach in the kingdom, we have to pass the tests that are set before us in order for us to move to the next level on our walk. Don't let whatever circumstance you're going through cause you to sin. James chapter 1 verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. You have to have faith and patience in knowing that Yahweh will see you through troubling times, because he said he will not forsake those who hearken unto his voice. Psalms chapter 27 and verse 14. Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Now, when Yahweh has strengthened your heart, and people can literally see Yahweh working in your life, let's see how that rattles the demonic spirits and people around you. 2 Samuel chapter 6 verse 14. And David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. Verse 15. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord, with shouting and with sound of the trumpet. Verse 16. And as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. As you level up in your walk and get closer to Yahweh while maintaining a joyful heart, the stronger the spiritual attacks against you will become. Even the ones closest to you are subject to become your adversary for many different reasons. One of the biggest reasons is because they want to be the ones to play Yahweh's role in your life. Now let's observe the persecution that Paul had to deal with and how he still stood on code with Yahweh. Acts chapter 16 verse 22. And the multitude rose up together against them, and the magistrates rent off their clothes, and commanded to beat them. Verse 23. And when they had laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into prison, charging the jailer to keep them safely. And at midnight Paul and Silas prayed, and sang praises unto Yahweh, and the prisoners heard them. For preaching Yahweh's word, Paul was beaten and thrown in jail, and it still did not knock him off his square for giving praise, honor, and thanks unto Yahweh. For Paul knew that there was a purpose behind his situation, and knowing Yah's word, Yahweh will get the glory behind Paul's persecution, and Paul will come out of this better on the other end for enduring. Romans chapter 8 verse 18. For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Paul knew that the suffering of this current life was nothing that should cause him to sin, for he knew he will receive double for his trouble in the kingdom. Just like Paul, let's see what David did when faced with tough, similar situations. 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 3. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 6. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters. But David encouraged himself in Yahweh his Elohim. Why is this important? Because just like Paul's situation with him being thrown in jail, he still encouraged himself and focused his mind on Yahweh. Paul and David both still held strong in their conviction and trusting Yahweh no matter what they were going through. Encourage yourself in Yahweh. Only Yahweh will be able to save us, and we will need to have the knowledge and wisdom of the testimonies throughout the Bible to encourage ourselves not to sin and fall away from Yahweh, even during the end times persecution. Will you be able to put your life on the line for Yahweh if He tests you in that way? You will need to stand on your faith in Yahweh and encourage yourself not to sin by accepting the mark and ultimately losing your salvation. Shout out to K. Judah for helping me promote my channel and his support. Whoever is watching, please go to his channel and subscribe. K. Judah is one of the best teachers I have ever heard since Israel's awakening. A true servant of the Most High indeed. And shout out to everyone who came from K. Judah's channel and subscribed. And shout out to FOPE, Elder Quinath, Brother Sharsham. I can't forget where I came from. And shout out to Sis Naphtali and her husband Sean of ADOIC. Sis Naphtali is one of the most intelligent scholars in all of Israel.